In this video, I'm going to show you what Shahryar Tajbakhsh calls the forgotten optional else in Python loops. This video is based on a blog post that Shahryar wrote at the URL shown here, and he agreed to let us create this video showing his examples. First, let's look at some pseudocode. While some condition, do something. Else, do something else. So when does this else block run? It runs when some condition is no longer true. Note that if we hit a break or return statement in the while block, that takes us out of the entire while loop, and the else block will never run. It works the same way with a for loop. For I in range 5, do something. Else, do something else. When I is no longer in the range, the else block is executed. So in this example, we run through a for loop printing I each time through. When I is out of the range, the else block runs and it prints iterated over everything. But as this example shows, if you break out of the loop, the else block doesn't run. And we can't forget the while loop. Here's a simple example. It prints I until I is equal to 5, and then it runs the else block and prints out yep. Shahryar also includes this example of looping through an empty list. As the list is empty, it never executes the code in the for block and jumps right to the else block and prints still iterated over everything, i.e. nothing. The equivalent for a while loop would be to say while false. The while block never runs, so it prints yep, not nope. So when is this useful? It's useful when you're using loops to search. Take a look at this pseudocode. You see that the else block only runs when you've gone through the whole loop and didn't find what you were looking for. Here's the common way of doing this. You set a flag for meeting the condition with an initial value false. You then loop through, and if you find what you're looking for, you change the value of the flag to true. After the loop, you check the value of your flag to decide what to do next. Here's a working example. First, the setup. We create a variable named haystack that holds an empty list, and we populate it with 100 pieces of hay and 1 needle. We then create a searches list, and using random.choice, populate it with 5 random elements from the haystack list. So our searches list now either holds 5 pieces of hay or 4 pieces of hay and 1 needle. We then have an isSharp function that returns true if the passed-in value is needle or Albert Einstein, and returns false otherwise. We want to look through our searches list to find out if any of the values we found passes the isSharp test. If it does, we'll assume it's a needle, as Albert Einstein is too sharp to be hiding in a haystack. First, the common way. We set a flag, needle found, to false. We then loop through the searches list and pass each value to the isSharp function. If it returns true, we change the value of needle found to true and break from the loop. And then after the loop, we use an if-else statement to decide what to do based on the value of our flag. And here's the Python way. No need to set a flag, we just loop through the searches list. If we find the needle, we do something and break. If we get all the way through the loop without finding the needle, we run the else block. As Shahryar points out, this isn't a huge deal. You can continue to set and use flags if you find that more intuitive, but using the else block feels a little cleaner to me. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks again to Shahryar for letting us use his post as a basis for this video. Check out his blog at the URL shown here for other Python articles.